Hey guys, and welcome to day 2 of my video game series. Um, Still haven't got a fix for my webcam going here, so just gonna be using it as it is now. It does look a little grainy still, but I did color back, so maybe it won't be too bad. You have to forgive me at the moment, Heather watching, but I'm not gonna tell her to cut her TV off just so I can do this. That's how nice I am. She looks so excited right now. Anyway. So not much has been going on today. It's been a very relaxed day. So again, not much to talk about. So instead, I'm going to share with everyone a little project that I've been working on for about 2 or 3 weeks now. I am in a course on Udemy. Udemy is a website that offers courses for so many things, but this is not an advertisement for that site. But on that site, I'm taking a course for Unity 3D. It's a game development platform. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. If not, fantastic platform for creating games. Go check it out, Unity 3D. Anyway, within the course that I'm taking, we went over how to make they call it block breaker in the course, but it's like an Arkanoid clone. If any of you remember Alleyway for the Game Boy, Nintendo made that. But it's your typical, you have a paddle at the bottom of the screen, bounce the ball, get some blocks, and you break them. Not much to it other than that. But I went through the course, did the course, learned a lot from it for that particular lecture, and decided to take, before I move on to the next lecture in the course, I wanted to go ahead and take the project that we made and make it my own. Take what we did in the class and just do what I wanted to do with it, what I felt be a great prototype for a game. And I did, and this is what this is. This is what I'll be sharing with everyone today. So this prototype is called Block. You can play it on the itch.io website. You go to my name that I use online, Dartvalence, dartvalence.itch.io. You'll be able to see the game. I have it loaded up here. I also leave the link for the game in the description of the video on YouTube, as well as the post on Facebook, which anyone who on Facebook probably knows I've been posting about the past couple of weeks. You're probably tired of seeing it, but that's cool. Anyway, this is the game. This is Block, and I want to share it with everyone. Click this and get started. And I apologize for how loud this intro is. It will load one day. There we go. Alright, so that was the little splash intro for the game. Put that in there just as a little something. I don't know. I keep repeating myself. But DV is an abbreviation of the name I use online, Dartvalence. So just the D and DV from that. And that will be the name I'm using currently whenever I make games out, or do whatever with gaming. I'll be doing them under the DV name. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about Block for a second. A lot of you, again, are probably familiar with the classic block breaking style games, which is what this is. But I took this and took some concepts from another video these two guys did. I saw the video last year about how to enhance your game, adding little things that will take something that typically isn't very entertaining and just adding visual elements, things visually that will make it pop out and stand out and add more flavor to the game. And you can kind of see a couple of them here. First being the ball that is bouncing around. If you watch that, you'll notice that it has that trail that's following behind it. Visually, you can keep up with the ball as it's moving across the stage. In case it's fast, you kind of know where it's at because you have the trail to kind of lead your eyes to it. Along with that, if you look at the paddle at the bottom, every time the paddle gets hit, there is this sort of confetti pop. It's not exactly how I wanted it to be. Working with particle systems isn't really my best right now in Unity, but I did the best I could, and it's supposed to, the effect is supposed to be confetti kind of popping out, kind of a like a good reward, you hit the ball with the paddle. Good job, you're a great player. Keep hitting that ball with the paddle. Along with that, it's a little bit subtle. You might notice it, but every time the ball hits the paddle does this little jiggle effect. That's just kind of a neat little effect to go along with that as well. So I'm gonna leave it at the title screen here for a second. We're gonna scroll down a little bit. If you decide you want to play this game, try it out. There is a lot of information here that I put into it, the description of the game, how to play the game. I'll be sure to put that, understand the controls of the game, and a little description about the different levels. And we'll be talking about the levels as I go more through why I did certain things. Also talk about the game objects in the game. Because you have the paddle, you have the ball, you have the different colored blocks, what they means for them being different colors. You also have a boss paddle. There's a boss stage that I've been to the game, and underneath this you will see this special thing. And even though I put it here and I actually put it in the game as well, if you click credits you'll see it there. I do want to speak for a moment on the special things. I do very much want to thank Heather for supporting my hobby in this, for listening to all of my crazy talk when I have issues with programming, and even though I bore her out of her mind saying this stuff, I do absolutely. And yeah, you cut this audio down some. I hope it's not overpowering me talking. Yeah, I do really want to extend that thing. So I love you, babe. Love you. Yeah. Yeah, she said yeah. Also want to thank my son Spence. Spence gives me these great ideas all the time. He'll see me programming and testing the game out and playing it, and he'll just, why don't you try doing this? And it'll be a really cool challenge. So he does. I absolutely love the fact that Spence comes in to get involved with it, give me ideas on how to improve, even test them out for me. For a bit, I needed some sound effects for the game, and Spence actually came in and I had him record some effects for me. Which helped for a bit. It did, to kind of get an idea of how the sound would be there. Outside of that, I also want to thank Anthony. Anthony is the person that rubber ducks all my issues. If you don't know what rubber duck programming is, I'm not going to try to explain it here. It's a pretty simple concept, easy to look up. I'm a Wikipedia page on it. But Anthony is my rubber duck, and I thank you very much for that. But yeah, let's get started and take a look at the game. So this is the title screen. From here you can adjust the sound effects and the music. So I'm going to actually cut that music down just a little bit more. And I'm going to pull the sound effect down because I didn't realize when I built the game that the sound effects were really loud. Like to test that, and that's it. Go back and credits section with all the different information about the game. Credits, where I got the font from, the game music. Special thanks again. And now on to the game. So the game itself, the paddle is moved using the A and D buttons on the keyboard. Move it left and right. And then you use the mouse to launch the ball initially. You can either launch it left or right, depending on if you left click or right click. Outside of that, while the ball is actually in play, you can left click or right click to tilt the mouse in that direction, angle the ball when you hit it, to kind of give you a little bit better control over it as you're trying to steer it in the correct direction to hit the box. So just to give you an look at the actual play of the game. And again, the objective is just, oh, I've already lost. Look at that. The objective of the game is, just hit the blocks. That's all you gotta do. And I'm doing so great at the game. See if I can maybe even beat my own first level. Maybe not. Yeah, I can't even beat my own first level. So it also doesn't help that I have this microphone in my face and I'm trying to focus on top. Anyway, I'm going to enable autoplay in the game. Autoplay is enabled in the game if you play it and you just kind of want to see the game, the concept. Kind of go through the levels. You can just hit the control button. Doing that the paddle just follows the ball around and it will autoplay through the stage. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the blocks themselves in the game. This is something that you can see from the title screen. The blue blocks are going to be one hit to destroy. There are also an orange block and red blocks. Both of those are 2 and then 3 hits to do. Hitting the different blocks will cause them to change colors and downgrade them to the appropriate amount of hits that they need, so the player can visually see. Also, whenever a block gets destroyed, you'll see the blue particles are exploding out to let the player know the block is destroyed and exploded, because the ball itself is, it's just so damn powerful. Okay, it's almost done with the first level. I really should put in some type of level skip thing, in case people want to just go through it. It's only 4 levels, so it won't take too long. So, while the ball is deciding if it wants to hit the block or not. Oh, there we go. Level 2. Level 2's concept was to introduce the player to the new type of blocks, the orange block, as well as to introduce them to the concept of block scrolling across the screen. The blocks do, once they get off position, they do what's called a screen wrap, where they'll go from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen, and you scrolling over. Autoplay this stage as well. I'm down to 1 life, and I don't want to have to start the play over. I could actually just load this up in Unity. This is, why not? Why not just do it this way? I'm proud of the project. I want to show the game, so we'll do it this way. Now you'll see as the ball is hitting the orange blocks, because the oranges do take 2 to kill, it is changing their color to blue to for the player who's already familiar with the blue blocks. Oh, I've only got to hit it 1 more time. Look at you, the player being so. And this screen wrap effect was actually a lot harder to in place than getting the blocks to move smoothly and detecting that they need to wrap, because each individual block itself is moving itself. It's not like I have it's not like a group applied effect and it's moving this large group left or right. It's each individual block is moved, and I did have some issues early on where moving the blocks around, some of them would actually get to the edge and screen wrap, and something would happen with the game. I don't know if it was the timing in the game between the frames, what it was, but the blocks would actually start to become more and more apart. They weren't scrolling or wrapping properly. While that's playing, give me 1. Alright, sorry about that. My headset's actually dying, so get up. Alright. Stage 3. Stage 3 introduces the player to the red block type, which is 3 hits to completely destroy the block. Along with the red block type, there's going to be another effect that happens as this player gets introduced. And that is going to be that this stage is going to start falling down on the player. It actually only falls 3 times total. But you'll see that coming up. Oh, there it goes. I was going to do that 2 more times. This effect total takes, once the ball goes into play, the stage has a 10-second timer. Once those 10 seconds are up, the stage falls. Which kind of makes the play area for the player a little bit smaller, makes it a little bit. That's the 3rd time total, and this is the furthest it's going to fall. So now the player just needs to finish doing the level. Keep looking over, making sure that the Stuff still recording. Walks to go. And then we get to the last level, which, wow. Oh, that was my son. Apologize about that. Try to record a video in this house, can't get it done. Alright, so last level. Last level is a boss level. This level was actually very fun and very the boss paddle itself it makes the stage sort of like a semi-Pong experience. The player's goal is to get the ball past the enemy paddle and hitting the top of the level, the green section above. Outside of that, you have the scrolling blocks, as well as the effect of the blocks falling that we just saw on the previous level. Now, the enemy paddle isn't perfect. I did have to dumb down the AI a little bit, and there's some neat little tricks that I did to accomplish that. But two of the things that the player may not be aware of at first, but may figure out as they're playing, is that the enemy paddle starts to get slower the longer they play the stage, and that's because the number of blocks that are still left on the stage determine the enemy paddle's overall speed. So the more blocks you get to destroy, the slower he becomes. Outside of that, every time the enemy paddle is hit with the ball, the paddle does the same jiggle effect that the player's paddle does, but when it ends for the enemy paddle, it starts to shrink down to a certain amount. So every time the paddle gets hit, you shrink it down. Every time you blocks it, makes it slower, eventually allowing the player to get past it and win the level. Take a look at you see now the enemy paddle just completely blocks the ball. There's no way to get it past it. It's perfect right now. But as we start destroying the blocks, it's going to start getting slower, and you'll notice that it's having trouble getting all the way to the edge of the wall. It slows down a little bit there. Yep, there we go, one more fall. So this is the total difficulty of the level. Stage has fallen 3 times. You got the enemy paddle you have to get past. Starting to have trouble keeping up with the ball. Also, you may have noticed now that it has shrunk quite a bit from its original. And the more it gets hit, the more. So the player doesn't have to destroy every block. Like a winner? Yep, there we go. And that's all 4 stages in my prototype. And now we're on my favorite thing that I program, which are the fireworks. Look at that. Look at those fireworks. That is fantastic. Thank you. Yeah. Fireworks. So that's my game that I want to share with everyone in this video, and I'll leave the link in the YouTube description as well as on the Facebook post that I make for this if anyone wants to click it and try it out. Controls, everything are on the page. You have to scroll down to read. You also pages, the different things about them. This will end episode 2 of my video a day. It is January 2nd, 2017 at 6:50 p.m. I hope everyone has a great night, and I will see you tomorrow in tomorrow's video. Later.